So today we are going to get into a training. I was up pretty early this morning and this kind of hit me at about 4 a.m. And I thought, you know what, we're going to do. I was thinking of trusted smart chains, and there's a reason why I'm wearing a Ferrari shirt today. So I look at trusted smart chain nodes as the Ferrari of blockchain. That's how I look at trusted smart chain nodes, because there's a lot of different node projects that are out there. So let me start with a story. So Ferrari exists in a world full of cars, especially fast cars. And let's be clear, Ferrari is fast. Some of the fastest cars in the world also wear that badge. But speed isn't necessarily what defines Ferrari. Don't get me wrong, they're really fast. But Ferrari does not compete by shouting their specs or chasing whatever trend the auto industry is excited about this year. They separate themselves by how the car is built. The engineering, the materials, the tolerances, the way that the entire system performs under real stress over time. And Ferrari, it does not start with the marketing. They start with the engineering. And I want to say that again. They don't start with the marketing. They start with the engineering. The powertrain is designed first. The chassis is designed to handle it. Performance is the result, not the pitch. And that approach, it naturally creates exclusivity. Not because Ferrari's trying to keep people out per se, but because not everybody values what Ferrari prioritizes. Some people want speed today. Some people want features. Some people want hype. Ferrari is built for people who care about how something performs long term. It's built for people that want to be part of that exclusive club. Now, I want you to keep that in mind as we talk about blockchain. Most blockchains are built backwards. Marketing leads the way. Hype amplifies. Narratives are layered on top of it. And only then do they try to engineer something underneath it. Am I right, Steve? Tell me I'm wrong here. You've seen this over and over again.
You're right, brother. Dead on. Dead on.
I'm going to say this one more time because this is really crucial. Marketing first, hype amplifies it, narratives are layered on top of it, and only then do they try to engineer something underneath it. That can work for a moment. It almost never works long term. Trusted Smart Chain was built differently. From day one, it was architected around utility and infrastructure. When Billy decided to launch the blockchain, he started with the utility. That's where the whole conversation started with him and Matt. Not price, not speculation, not what was trending that month. Just like Ferrari, Trusted Smart Chain's not trying to appeal to everybody. It separates itself by what it prioritizes. So this training is about understanding the difference because not all nodes are built the same. So let's talk about engineering first. Ferrari, again, doesn't start with marketing. They start with engineering, right? That powertrain's designed, the chassis designed to handle it. Performance is the result, not the pitch. And by the way, when we talk about architecture, we're talking about utility and infrastructure first. Now, we use those two words all the time in this community, but I feel that it's important that we break those down just a little bit more. So before we go any further, I want to define what that actually means. Because if you miss this, you miss everything. So what do we mean by infrastructure? Infrastructure is the stuff that you don't think about when it's built correctly. We're talking about the roads. We're talking about the power grids. We're talking about the cell towers. We're talking about the internet. We're talking about the payment rails. You don't wake up excited about them. You just use them, right? We talk about it all the time. Technology has two categories, the builders and the users. But here's the thing. If they break, everything stops. Your cell towers go down. It's pretty frustrating, isn't it? In blockchain terms, infrastructure is the foundation that allows everything else to exist. It's the rails. It's the system. It's the environment where applications and assets and activity for all of these different coins actually live. So most blockchains focus on what runs on top. Very few focus on how strong the foundation is underneath. Trusted Smart Chain was built as infrastructure first. That means the first question was never, how do we get attention fast? The question was, how do we build something others can reliably build on for years? That's infrastructure thinking. So what we mean by utility is utility simply means real use, not imagined use, not somewhere off in the distance in the future we'll figure out the use, Ben. Not hypothetical use, I say, right, Ben, because he and I, we've talked about some projects.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Actual use cases that solve real problems. In crypto, many projects confuse potential with utility. This is really important that you understand this. A lot of people confuse potential with utility. They say one day this can be used for everything. Utility asks different questions. What's it being used for now? Who relies on it? What breaks if it goes away? What access do I have with this particular token or this project? Trusted Smart Chain was designed to support real world assets, real activity, and real participation. Utility is not about excitement. It is about relevance. And relevance compounds. It compounds over time. Doesn't happen overnight. Infrastructure doesn't happen overnight. Utility doesn't happen overnight. It's not measured in days or weeks. Infrastructure and utility is measured in years. You look at the most successful infrastructure projects today, Ethereum, BNB. These are blockchains that house tons of the projects, a large majority statistically of the coins and tokens that are out there. It didn't happen overnight. But here's what I want you to understand. Infrastructure without utility is empty. Utility without infrastructure is fragile. Ferrari understands this. A powerful engine without a chassis to handle it, it's going to be dangerous. This beautiful body without an engine, not going anywhere. Trusted Smart Chain treats infrastructure and utility the same way. The foundation is built to last. The use cases give it purpose. And that's how performance becomes sustainable instead of fragile. And that's how growth happens without breaking the system. Let's talk a little bit about performance with purpose. Ferrari's fast, very fast in some cases, depending on what you're driving. But speed alone has never been the point. Ferrari designs performance that can be controlled, that can be repeated, it can be sustained. And in blockchain, speed is easy to advertise. Sustainable performance, it's much harder to engineer. Trusted Smart Chain doesn't chase these speed headlines. It focuses on throughput. It focuses on reliability and the real world usability. Speed matters, but stability matters more. And guess what creates that stability? What creates the stability? Anybody?
Code.
That's right. You guys. So speed matters, stability matters more, and ultimately that leads to scarcity by design. Ferrari does something that confuses people who only think in mass market terms. They could make more cars, the demand is there, the money would be there, but they choose not to. Not because of hype, not because of branding games, but because when you scale too fast, you compromise the very thing that makes the product special. The engineering quality drops. The attention to detail starts to erode. And the ownership experience, it changes. I've seen this in many other type of programs. I've seen it in projects. I've seen it in cars even. Cars that used to be really unique, high quality cars just look like they're cookie cutters today. Scarcity is not a marketing tactic for Ferrari. It's a byproduct of discipline. I'm going to say that again. Scarcity is not a marketing tactic for Ferrari. It's a byproduct of discipline. They build at a pace that allows them to maintain their standards, and that naturally limits supply. Now, bring that thinking into crypto. Most crypto companies believe scale, right? They think that you should have more, gotta have more users, gotta have more nodes, more hype, more noise. And then they try to stabilize the system after the fact. And another thing that often happens is this. They use the proceeds from node sales or their token sales to create liquidity. There's no real demand, so the price is propped up, and if the price is up, it drives more sales. And sales fund the narrative, and the narrative drives more sales. And eventually the funds run out. And without real utility, there's nothing underneath it. Trusted Smart Chain was built with a different order of operations. Utility and infrastructure came first. Participation followed. Growth is meant to be the result, not the requirement. Scarcity here is not about withholding. It's about not rushing what must be stable. And the last thing I want to focus on is the ownership mindset here. When you own a Ferrari, there's a pride of ownership. Owning a Ferrari is not just about driving some fast car. It comes with a sense of pride. You take care of it differently. You talk about it differently. You understand what went into building it. You also understand what went into earning it in most cases. Ferrari owners do not just own a vehicle, they own a piece of engineering history. They respect the craftsmanship, they respect the process, they respect what that brand stands for. That pride of ownership, it changes behavior. You don't abuse it. You don't treat that car casually. You are responsible for something that was built with intention. Trusted Smart Chain node ownership carries that same mindset. You're not renting access. You're not clicking a button that's going to lead to speculation. You're participating in the infrastructure. There's pride in supporting something built the right way. It's the reason why most of you are here right now. There is pride in supporting something built the right way. Pride in understanding what most people overlook. Pride in thinking long-term instead of chasing noise. Because ownership creates responsibility. Ownership creates responsibility. Your decisions matter. Your mindset matters. Your time horizon matters. It's not passive involvement, it's stewardship. We've never sold this as just some passive investment. You go buy and you just are, you're going to earn these tokens, go cash them in every day. We've never presented it that way. Not everybody wants the responsibility, and that's okay. But for those who do, ownership feels different. It feels intentional. It feels earned. It feels meaningful, right? Everybody wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And I thought I was going to close there, but I want to talk about the reframe here for a moment. Most people look at nodes and think speculation. This training asks you to see something else. Today's conversation is about that infrastructure. It's about that utility. It's about that longevity. The token is the fuel that we're putting into the vehicle. The infrastructure is the asset. Just like a Ferrari is more than just some top speed number, trusted smart chain's more than some headline metric. We're never going to be the loudest blockchain in the room, but it is built to be the one that lasts. And that matters, because when you strip away the noise, what people really want isn't the excitement. They want confidence. They want durability. They want to know that they're part of something built the right way. You don't go buy a Ferrari just to blend in. You buy it because you respect what went into building it. You respect the engineering, you respect the discipline, you respect the intention. Node ownership here at Trusted Smart Chain carries that same pride. Pride in understanding what most people overlook, pride in supporting the infrastructure, not hype, pride in playing the long game when others are chasing the next headline. You're not here because this was super easy. You're here because it made sense. And years from now, when trends have come and gone, that decision is going to matter. Not because of the noise, but because of what you helped build. Not all nodes are built the same, and not all owners think the same. The difference is something to be proud of. This is final. It's grounded. It's confident. It's inspiring without hype. And that is what Trusted Smart Chain really is about. And that is why Trusted Smart Chain is the Ferrari of blockchains. And each one of you owns a piece of it. So I'm going to open it up. Thoughts, comments, feedback here as we wrap it up.
I guess you love your Ferrari. Is that what you're saying?
I really do love my Ferrari, but
Brilliant comparison. Brilliant.
There is no substitute for a Rolls Royce.
hey, there's some craftsmanship there too. We could have that same conversation. With that, thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful day today, and we'll see you guys soon. God bless.